hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Everyone on this call is new this month, except, of course, our host and star, Blair. So this is an incredibly exciting time. The team is growing quickly. The company is just a rocket ship. And very quickly, in like 2 minutes, we'll give our personal background. My background is traditional marketing, not affiliate marketing, not network marketing, traditional marketing. So when Todd, our sponsor, brought this to us, I was looking at market demand, which is off the charts. You cannot get away from this story of peptides, whether it's mainstream media, whether it's podcasts, health and fitness, which is kind of my arena now. It's everywhere. It's being called the most significant medical advance so far this century, which is pretty significant given that they've sequenced DNA in this century. So market demand off the charts. Then I wanted to look at product offerings. Well, I've heard of companies in this space that have one product when they launch, but this company 1 year in has a lot of products and more being introduced this month and soon into the future as well. So that's impressive. Then I wanted to look at business systems. What's the back office looks like? What kind of marketing and sales tools are there? What kind of social media tools are there? What kind of community is there? What kind of education is there? Check, 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 all green lights. I'm like, this is actually looking pretty good. So Janelle will tell you more about our background in affiliate marketing, but from a traditional marketing standpoint, I was getting all green lights, which is really unusual. There's usually some fly in the ointment. There's usually some reason to have doubt, but all of this was checking all of the boxes from a traditional business evaluation standpoint. And so we opened our ears and our minds.
We did. And so for me, I don't know, about 10 years ago, I started gaining weight no matter what I did, no matter what I did. And Nathan knows how hard I tried. I could not lose a pound. I've been trying to lose 1 pound for 10 years. I have. And so, but I was a little bit worried, you hear things, side effects, whatever. But a friend of mine who's a doctor, she was like, Janelle, you know what? You're going to feel so much better if you can get this weight off. And she weighed me. She's like, I think you should lose 35, 40 pounds. And I said, gosh, that's like carrying around a bag of dog food all day long. No wonder I'm tired, And so I started it. It's been fantastic for me. I've not even been on it for 3 months and I've lost 17 pounds. It's just fallen off of my body. And as wonderful as I feel, and I have on a t-shirt that I bought 12 years ago and I kept it in my closet just in case I ever lost weight. So but it's just exciting. And even more importantly to me is that my asthma is almost gone. And I just can't believe it. I've had to live off of inhalers and breathing treatments and everything. And it's just, I haven't had to take any since a week after I started. And Nathan's tinnitus is gone, which he suffered with for 30 years. So we're just so excited about this for what it's done for us. I seriously want to shout it from the rooftop. So that's why we joined, and we knew that, we'd be telling everybody about it anyway. So might as well be a part of an amazing company. So Blair, you have been nothing but welcoming to us since we started. You are, you're just a blessing. You're a blessing to us and to everybody. And you're such a wonderful representation of this company. And, Todd, our awesome sponsor, he just spoke so highly of you, and everything he said was true. And so we know that you started 10 months ago. Your team is exploding. You're one of the top earners in the company, and we just want to learn from you. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you. I love what both of you guys shared, because you're going to hear a little bit of both of that in my story. So I'm so excited to welcome all of you guys and to have you guys be part of the team. One of my favorite things about this business has been the quality people that are joining. And, that starts with all of you guys, with Todd, with Nathan, with Janelle. And I'm so excited to get to know all the rest of you guys well. I was talking to James right before we got started. I'm really excited because it's person after person that I meet over the last 10 months that have been impacted by these products or decided to jump in and then get impacted. Their stories are just incredible. And the people that you're touching are incredible. So thank you for being here. And my journey, I'll share with you guys first a little bit about my story. And then I want to share with you guys some things that have really helped me over the last 10 months to get this success. For me, I actually have been in the industry since 2009. I used to be a kindergarten teacher. And then I was home for 5 years with our boys. And during that 5 years, we went through a really rough bankruptcy, 2008, 2009, when the whole market crashed. My husband's business was wrapped up in the mortgage industry. Plus, we had 12 rental properties and multiple hurricanes here in South Florida, where we live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And it was like the perfect storm. And we lost everything. And I also found out at the same time that my husband had an oxy addiction. So we really had to climb ourselves out of a really bad pit. But we did it, and we are better than ever. But that was how I found network marketing. And I had 2 very young children at home at the time. And I happened to see this jewelry party online. So it started with a jewelry company that I was with for almost 5 years. And then during that time, I started to learn more about this amazing company or this industry, because in my first couple months with that jewelry company, I made a couple $1,000s, which was actually more than bringing home teaching. So I decided not to go back to teaching. My husband said, let's give this a year and see what you can do. And at the end of that year, I made $99,000, which as a kindergarten teacher was like 3 years worth of my pay. And it was incredible. And so that started me on the journey. And what I learned over those almost 5 years with the jewelry company was residual income is the way to go. Not having to have 12 to 15 parties every single month and be away from my family and those kind of things. So fast forward, I joined a health and wellness company that was a vitamin supplement, which really came because of, we were just talking about Dr. Amen. I learned a lot about supplements and things like that. And I ended up joining a vitamin supplement company and hit millionaire with them in 2 years and had a ton of success with that company. But in 2020, 2021, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I had to go through 6 rounds of chemotherapy during COVID and have a hysterectomy, and it completely changed my life. I always say it was the biggest blessing of my life. I know it sounds crazy, but it changed the trajectory of our family, because now we are all so healthy. And I learned a lot about integrative medicine, holistic health, functional medicine, and peptides were something that popped up a lot during that time. And my oncologist wanted me to wait 1 year post-cancer to start on these peptides. But during that year, I was thrown into medical menopause, and nobody told me about what happens to women's bodies during menopause. But you talk about symptoms, I had like 25 of them, everything you could possibly imagine. And I'm going fast through my story, but I want you guys to know my story, because there might be people that you talk to over the course of you guys sharing, and you might be like, oh, she really needs to hear Blair's story. And you're always welcome to put people on 3-way messages with me through Facebook Messenger. I might not get back. Always tell them like, hey, Blair will pop in here as soon as she can, because I get a lot of people putting me in messages, but I will always get back to those messages because it's really important to me, especially for women. I feel like a lot of times we go to a doctor and they're like, your blood work looks good, you're fine, but we don't feel right. And I'm sure it happens to men too, but I can only share my experience. And we feel very gaslit in those situations. And I think it's really important for women to hear other women's stories. And so for me, I felt horrible that year of menopause. I had every symptom you could possibly think of, and I gained 30 pounds in a year, and I'm 5 feet tall. So that took me from a size 2 to a size 10. And I remember just feeling miserable, and everyone's like, you should be so happy you survived cancer, and I felt really guilty, to be honest, that I felt so horrible. But as soon as that 1 year hit, I started on some peptides. I started on NAD, glutathione, and GLP-1. And the GLP-1, I really didn't even start to lose weight. I started because my cholesterol was so high, because it was a side effect of the estrogen blocker they had me on post-cancer. And they wanted to put me on a statin, which also had a side effect. And I said, well, then you're going to keep putting me on things. And my oncologist looked at me and said, you're right. So if I was you, I'd try those peptides your functional doctor told you about. And that was what gave me the strength to say, I'm going to start. And so NAD helps with cellular regeneration, mood, energy, mental clarity. Glutathione helps keep your body detoxing naturally. Antioxidants are up, immune system are up. And then GLP-1 was to help me reduce that cholesterol and get rid of some of the weight and inflammation. Well, over 6.5 months, I dropped 33 pounds. After really just 3 injections of NAD glutathione, I got rid of 90% of my menopause symptoms. And at the end of that 6.5 months of dropping those 33 pounds, what I realized was my blood work was incredible. Because being that I still get my blood work checked every 6 months post-cancer, I saw my thyroid health get better, my A1C, my kidney health, my liver enzymes. I got to see my cholesterol go down, but the most exciting one was my cancer marker. So I went from 168 when I had cancer to 2025 after chemo down to 7 or 8. And it has stayed at 7 or 8 for 3 years since I've been on these peptides. And I'm so thankful for these peptides, but I was still selling vitamin supplements. But I honestly didn't believe in a lot of them anymore. So I'd only sell certain ones to my clients. I felt very pulled, and I knew I needed to go in a different direction. So all last summer, I prayed for clarity and abundance. I was like, I'm going to figure out what's next. I just don't know what that is yet. And I really didn't think it was going to be in network marketing, to be honest with you guys. I got my real estate license. My husband's a real estate broker. I thought that was going to be my next step. I really wasn't sure. And then in August, I was introduced to Honey Sagari by my friend Beth, who is also part of your leadership team. She and I were both on these peptides together. And she said, hey, I think I found a better source where we can get our peptides. They're using the same pharmacies we're actually getting our stuff from, but it's much less expensive. And we don't have to go into our functional doctor's office every 4 to 6 months to get them. And so we got on a call with Honey Sagari, the CEO and founder. And what I learned is that she's a biochemist and she has a heart and passion for longevity and preventative health. And when I heard her mission of what she wanted to accomplish with EllieMD, that she wanted to have high efficacy, good quality products that made it available to everybody from the comfort of their home in the United States, and give them the education around it so that people can empower themselves in their health and wellness journey, not just about peptides, but about a holistic approach to your healthcare. I was in. I was like, this is what I have been looking for. I have had 40-something people in the last year ask what I'm doing, and only 3 of them ever showed up at my functional doctor's office. Why? Because of time and money, right? And then going back to what Nathan said, my dad's in the stock market. He always has been. He's always taught me you look for trends. And I will never forget, a couple years ago, he said to me, like, hey, if you know any companies that are coming out with like new innovative integrative medicine, you got to tell me about it. And so I told him about peptides when I first started, and he invested in some companies and they blew up. And so he was like, peptides, AI, and telehealth. Like, I don't know about you guys, but last summer, before I even started with EllieMD, I used Amazon telehealth to get a prescription for a sinus infection. And it was like the easiest thing I had ever done before. And so literally this hit all 3 of those. And that's when I knew this was the perfect storm. Now, listen, I walked away from that business. I would have ended last year making about $300,000 to $350,000 with that vitamin supplement company. And I walked away because they wouldn't let me do both. But I saw something here. And I knew that what was happening here was going to be unlike anything else. And I'm so thankful that I did. It is the perfect storm because not only do these products help people, but people feel the difference and people are looking for these. You know, if you look on social media right now, I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have started watching podcasts or looking for people on social media, and then it just explodes. All these things start to show up because this is what people are looking for right now. And so we get to help them and we get to educate them and we get to be there for them. So that's really like how my story started. But I'll tell you guys how I've had success in this business. So very quickly, our team became the rapid, like highest growing team, fastest growing team in the company. And I really believe it comes back to a few things. The biggest one is I highly recommend everybody get on a product because it's very hard to sell something that you're not on. It's very hard to sell, period, if you're not sharing. And that's really where I have always believed. I don't believe in selling, I believe in sharing. And when you can share from the heart and you're being real with people and you're sharing what something's done for you or how it's impacted somebody that you care about, your story is going to be way more powerful to them, right? And it's going to impact them more. And that's why stories sell, right? And more than anything else. And so I really believe everybody should be on one of the products. So we've taught from the very beginning, find your hero product is what we generally call it. And so whatever that is for you. And then also, you know, starting to learn and educate on these products as well is always really important. But yeah, find the one that you feel like impacts you or is something that you really want to see changed in yourself and get started on that. So you have that story to share. Also, I really believe that we had so much success so fast because we were out there utilizing the tools and utilizing the things that are available. So the stories, right? Every Monday night on our team, we have a Power of Peptide Zoom. We started hosting these 2 weeks into the business. Like we didn't even know what we were doing. We hadn't hit any rank yet, right? But we were just like, we're going to share the story. So anybody that's on any of these peptides, you're going to hop on, you're going to share your stories. And we've continued this over the last 10 months. So every Monday night, that's available to all of you guys, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for our team. We host the Power of Peptide Zoom. We have different people share their stories and impact others. We also have 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday night Getting Started Zoom. So we just quickly review everything, you know, that we have to offer on our team to help you get started. And also we utilized what corporate has. They have an amazing training portal in the back office. I mean, when I started 10 months ago, they already had that. They've added so much more to it since. But the other company that I had been with for 11 years didn't even have a training portal. So to me, that was amazing. You know, it took a lot of the pressure off me, and I point people, just like with the products, I point people to what I think would be best for them, but they go on the site and they educate themselves. Our CEO it was really important to Honey that our site, she actually says it mimics a lot of Chinese sites in China. They never have returns. And she said because in China, they give so much education on their websites that you are not allowed to return products. It's like you knew everything you needed to know before you purchased. That was her goal. So if you go on the site for any of the products, you can read the benefits, you can read the scientific research in journals, and frequently asked questions. And so she did that on purpose. And then also the fact that that 8 p.m. on Monday night, and then right after that at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we gather together as a team and we have people share different things that are working for them in the business, different strategies, tools, etc. And so we've been doing that consistently since we started. So plugging in, right? Finding that hero product. What are you going to share with people? What is going to be the main product that you share? And I'll be honest, GLP-1 does the best because people feel and see the results the fastest. I would say, you know, that's a really big one. The next two really big ones are NAD and BPC 157 TB 500. The Wolverine stack. People really love that as well. And then the second thing is getting plugged into the team. So those Monday night things. And then third is, to be honest with you, I couldn't stay quiet. Like when I love something, I share it. So I'm sharing it on my social media. I'm talking about it when I'm out with people. I'm not afraid to share with them what's working. And when I find somebody and they tell me something that they're struggling with, I listen to them. And then I say, hey, I think this is what would really help you. And I point them to that website. If there's somebody's story that I know would impact them, I share that as well. And I want to show you guys just a couple of our amazing tools tonight, because I really believe that this is really helpful. So a second ago, I was talking about our training portal. You guys, this is what the training portal is. It's in your back office. Within your first 3 days of joining the company, you get an email that gets you the login so that you can get in here, get in there and start educating yourself. You know, it's really, honestly, I had somebody tell me the other day, it took her about an hour to go through all of it. Or you can do just like, you know, one a day or something like that. The other thing that's really great is boards. If you've never utilized boards before, it's an app on your phone, but you can also use it on the computer. It's incredible. And we are the fastest growing company, or the fastest growing team in the company right now. And because of that, they asked us a couple months ago, what are you guys doing? And so because we've been utilizing these boards to house a lot of information, I'm going to show you guys a couple things in here in a second. Corporate made their own official board. So you can actually get theirs as well. You should have gotten an email about that, and it should be linked with the email that you used to join EllieMD. But they created this as well, and it's phenomenal, and there's a lot of great stuff in there. But we still have our team one as well, because we house a lot of great info that's specific for you guys. I want to show you guys something right here. If you go to Welcome, Begin Here, and you click on this, you'll get some great information to get started. Right here is the printable checklist. We have a 2-part checklist for you to go through to get started in your business. You'll also find all of our weekly information for our weekly calls, what we have available to you. We have a ton of recordings in here for you as well, from all of our Monday Night Power Peptides. We have opportunity Zooms that we host once a month for our team that are focused on the business. And the reason we only host those once a month is because we really believe that a lot of times people get started on the product, they fall in love with it, and then they're open to the business. So you're always welcome to use these recordings, but we do host a live one once a month, and everything else that you can even imagine is in here. But I'll share with you guys what I use the most. It's these EllieMD products. So right here, we have an explanation of what peptides are. But for example, if I have somebody asking me about NAD, I come in here. We have all these great podcasts and education that we love. We have graphics in here for you guys to use. It's all right there at the fingertip. And if you use it on your phone, it actually populates into your keyboard. So it makes it so easy for you to be able to use in there. And so that was what we really tried to do when we started here. Was we know that 90% of the people that join this company and join our team are working full time, or they're busy, right? And so we want to make this so simple that they can join and that they can build this business alongside their busy lives and really be able to impact and help others. So I feel like, was there anything, Janelle, that you wanted me to hit that I didn't hit?
Well, one specific thing, looking forward from a vision standpoint, you know, this is a purpose-driven company. It has a very strong purpose, a very strong mission. But looking forward from a company standpoint, both in terms of the opportunity for those of us who are brand partners, but also in terms of where you see the company going, because you have access to information that most of us don't. Where you see the company going with the product expansion and just, not necessarily a 5-year vision, but a 1 to 3 year vision.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to touch on like how much I'm making, right? I'll be totally honest with you guys. So the opportunity here is huge. I'm going to talk about what's coming, which is really exciting. But also, when I walked away from that other business that I had, I knew I wanted how much I needed to make right away to at least just pay the bills. Like, we are equal partners in our house. So like, I knew what I needed to bring in to cover some expenses. But I didn't realize how quick we would be able to build. And so now what I'm making monthly, and also you can have 2 accounts per household. So I set up my husband pretty quickly underneath me. So like last month, he brought in about $7,000 in volume, or $7,000 in pay. And I brought in about $39,000. So that was in 10 months that we've been able to make that together, which is really exciting. And what I love too is that they have some amazing bonuses once you get up to some of those higher levels, and they're monthly bonuses. So every time I hit advanced executive director, I make an extra $3,000 bonus. The other company I was with had an auto bonus, and it was great. And I had a ton of people on my team earning that auto bonus, but we had to have a certain kind of car, and it was a lot of pressure for people. Here, it's just a cash bonus. You do what you want with that cash, which I think is really incredible. And where this company is going is really exciting. I mean, this is just the beginning. So their goal is to bring in 2 to 3 new products every single month, which they've been consistently doing. But coming into hopefully Q4, we'll be ready to start our blood diagnostic kits now that our patient. So by the way, the patient portal is brand new. If you guys haven't checked that out, if you have a customer account and you've ordered anything, you now can go. Actually, let me just show you guys this. Todd, I don't even know if you've seen this because it's so new. Let me go. So when you're logged in as a customer, which you can be your own customer, right? So one of the cool things in this company is you're your own customer. So anytime I place an order, I make commission off my own order, which, by the way, I was telling you guys, I was actually on 5 peptides a month, and my husband was on 3 when we started with this company, and my 18-year-old is on a couple peptides. So we were spending about $4,000 a month on peptides.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. And now that I'm with EllieMD, I make 40% commission back on all of our, so like on Noah, my son, Jeremiah, my other son's on it, Ryan, and myself. We all make 40% commission back on our own orders, which is really exciting. So now we have this patient portal. It literally just happened. I mean, I've been in the business for 10 months and we didn't even have a patient portal, and we were still able to do the amazing sales that we've done. But now I feel like it makes it even more professional, and people feel very comfortable in it when they get in there. Oh, this is Ryan's. Hold on. So on mine, I have like 5 peptides that I'm ordering this month, and you'll see the doctor's face, and I can actually message with him, which is really cool. So that is a new feature. And now that we have that patient portal, we'll be able to start hopefully in Q4 opening up our blood diagnostic kits. And that will then allow, once we get those blood diagnostic kits, that will then allow us to be able to get into the hormone replacement therapy realm. And we'll be starting first with men with testosterone, and then going into women's hormone health, probably into Q1 or Q2 next year, because women's hormone is a lot more complex. And so that's going to take a little bit longer to get all figured out. They're working with a team of doctors right now on that. We also are working with some new technology for GLP-1, which is really exciting, so that there'll be other ways to get GLP-1 besides injectables. And so that's really exciting, and lots of other things like Sloop. Have any of you guys ever heard of Sloop before? So Sloop is another peptide that's really exciting, that actually inside of your body, when you take Sloop, it actually makes your body think that you're working out when you're not. So it's crazy. So it helps with cardiovascular health. It helps with weight loss. And I know, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. I just started reading the research on it because our CEO sent me the research on it. And I was like, this is incredible with the research that they've done on it over the last couple of years in scientific studies. But yeah, it like literally mimics exercise inside of your body. So like the endorphins, cardiovascular health, and the weight loss benefits, obviously, and muscle tone that people get when they're on it. So there's just lots of really cool stuff that's coming. Tesamorelin, ipamorelin. Right now we have samorelin, but those are even higher quality HGH. The name is Sloop.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but I just saw you ask in the chat. But send me a message and let me see if I can. I'll ask Honey if I can share the research that she sent with me, and I'll send it over to you if you want to see. But yeah, lots of really cool things that are going to be coming, and even into the future. Like Honey is a visionary. Like I'll tell you that, our CEO. Like she thinks she has just a brilliant mind. And so like sometimes when you're with her, you just get these little bits. And so some of the things that she has for the future, I mean, she really wants to find a way, to take some of these fitness apps, like if you have the Aura Ring or you have an Apple Watch or, Fitbit or whatever you use, that we can then use that like almost like a Fitness Pal app with our company so that people can monitor and see their health with the peptides and checking things like that. So it's just lots of cool stuff is going to be coming over the next year or two of what they really want to do. And you guys are all here at the very beginning. I mean, we just hit 1 year old this month. It's really incredible to see. And even the skin serum, I feel like that really got kind of pushed, kind of skimmed over, if I'm being honest with you, but the ingredients are ridiculous. And it's crazy, right?
I'm a skincare snob and I use a lot of good stuff, and I saw a difference after like 3 days.
It's unbelievable. Even the one spilanthanol, that being in there is huge. That's like basically like a plant-based Botox. And the more, like, I am 47, you guys, and I'll tell you, like, I've done Botox one time in my life. It was years before cancer. And since having cancer, just, I don't know, everything scares me. So I have been using it, and like my forehead is so flat right now. It's crazy how it really like relaxes the muscles. But even there's more GHKCU in our skin serum than injecting yourself 2 times a week with our GHKCU bottles. So it's really incredible. NAD is in it. They put plant exosomes in it. Oh, that's another thing that might be coming in the future, is the cell exosomes. If you guys know about that, you have to use it within 24 hours. So like as soon as you open it, you have to use it. But we are, Honey, our CEO, is playing around with that right now. That will be a very high-end ticket, because that's something like, she said, probably $600 to $800. You order it, you got to use it within 24 hours. You use it 2 times within 24 hours, and then you don't have to use it again for a couple months, or even 6 months, depending on, what your skin's like. So there's just lots of amazing stuff going on right now, but it's really exciting. You guys are all here at the very beginning.
That is so great.
It opens a lot of doors when your CEO founder is a biochemist, right?
Right. Yeah. I know. It's so great. And she's made some really great relationships already with some really amazing people. So it's really exciting.
Well, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, so I can't put my camera on because I'm driving, whatever, but I just want to say, Blair, this is perfect call, and definitely excited about the replay. And I'm also a vision. Like, I'm hearing some of this stuff for the first time, and I've already, John Maxwell talks about the law of the buy-in, right? And I'm bought in before half the stuff that she said tonight. So, no, seriously, it's great for me. Just me. I mean, Blair has been working with me since late last year. But I was like so busy with other things and stuff. And I was literally that guy that I kind of hated for 20 years because I was given some excuses and, I'll get around to it. Let me think about it. Because, I retired from this industry in 2019. But honestly, I kept seeing the posts. I kept seeing Blair's posts. I kept seeing increase. And I was on the Facebook group and I'm like, man, people are just rank advancing like crazy. And 99.9% of them were women. So I'm like, which is great. But I'm like, where's the men? So I'm like, if I come in this thing over 35 days ago, I'm like, I can really build a huge men's team because the peptides are very women and male. It's not like we're in the beauty industry only. So I was just like, man, I see the need there for other men to come in because men just love this stuff and work out, and women can recruit men and men can recruit women. And I just saw the vision. And of course, I got close to Blair and Kelly Hoover, and one of my best friends is Chris Casey. Been working with him for 5 years. I mean, we've made millions of dollars together. So I trusted him and, 100%. So finally just made that decision, had that thing with Honey Sagari over 30, maybe 60 days ago now. But we did that webinar and boom, things just exploded. Like now I'm bringing on 10 people a week or more. I got this huge vision. So it's super fun. I'm just having a blast. So the resources work, the system works. I promote everything into what Blair and Kelly and Beth are doing with Team Joy. And I just love it because there's so much education to this that I don't even want to run my own calls right now. I just want to plug in. I want to hit the top ranks. I want to make tens of thousands a month. And I think we can do it very quickly, quicker than I've ever done it. And I made millions in this industry. So I just encourage you guys, like, this is a unicorn. I never would say that, but I don't like hype. In fact, that's what turns me off about this industry. But I don't even look at it as like a network marketing. I really don't. You can't buy it on Amazon. It's just different. It's just, I just really look at it as like almost like a corporate adult affiliate marketing opportunity, that has also business to business, not just individual. So we can hit med spas, we can hit up doctors. We already have a lot of doctors on the team. We have a lot of, I have a lot of clients they have 20,000 clients, nationwide. So it could be business to business and just your sister, or your brother, and I love the 40% commission as well. So there's just so many great things that knowing, what I've seen in this industry, been a multi-million-dollar person in 3 different companies times 3, walked the stages, got the awards, but nothing compares to this. And I think we're going to break a lot of records together, truly. And again, we're so appreciative of Blair's help, Kelly's help, Beth's help, obviously Honey's help. And then, of course, I'm here to help. And and of course, Nathan and Janelle are just incredible people, and so grateful to have them here because they're just truly professionals. And, I got to just say this last thing. If Janelle and Nathan see this, then everyone will really see this, because they're very successful outside. It's not like they're network marketers. They're very successful in real estate. They keep very good care of themselves. They're like the perfect people. And like Blair said in the beginning of the call, man, like, we're attracting the highest quality of people. So you guys are high quality. I love that. And we're going to build something very special all over the United States this year. And of course, moving forward.
That's great.
That's inspiring. Thank you. Thank you, Todd.
Yes.
And thank you again, Blair. Very, very helpful.
So glad to be on. I got to say one thing. I love what you said, Todd. It's so true. This is so different. It really does not. And I hear that over and over and over again over the last few months, is like, this does not feel like network marketing. It does not feel like direct sales. I call it an affiliate plus. That's what I call it, because it is so different. It is a hybrid. It is just a very different feel. The fact that we are telehealth concierge and we're really helping people and impacting them. So thankful to be on. Thankful you guys are joining us. And I'll get this recording to you so you guys can share it with whoever you want. And hopefully I'll see all of you guys Monday night.
That's great. Thanks again, Blair.
Awesome. Bye, guys.